Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Yep. What's good, y'all? It's your boy ARP. And we back here for the Sorry is True Podcast. Y'all see the title. Dame Dash responds to 50 Cent's claims that he's broke. We're going to talk about money in this one. After I go through a couple videos that I'm going to bring up here for a reaction with y'all, and I'm going to come to the chat in a second. After the videos that we play is done, I'm going to go into a topic of, is $1 million a lot of money? I want to talk about that. I see that floating around. I even seen that topic on the Joe Budden's podcast. Shout out to Joe Budden podcast and everybody up there. Love that podcast. Love their content. Follow them. Watch all their stuff. I want to talk about that. And I want to give a take that I don't hear too often about that. I'm also going to speak on some of my personal experiences when it comes to managing large quantities of money. Okay, so I'm going to get to that afterwards. But the reason why I got into this whole Dame Dash and 50 Cent thing, first of all, if you're like me, you follow very, very successful moguls, whether from the past, from the present, whether you see people on a crazy trajectory and you feel like, man, they're on the right path. I'm not one of those ignorant people that says, yo, if you don't have more than me, you can't tell me nothing. I always hated that. I always thought that was a very stupid and ignorant thing to say. You know, it could be a homeless man right there on a block, and he's sitting there with no shoes on his feet. If he got some advice to give you, you might want to listen. You might mess around and pick up a jewel about how not to end up there. Now, when I look at 50 Cent, I think there's no debate here. This is one of the biggest moguls, one of the most successful people that we've seen come through the industry, whether you're talking TV, music, and all his side ventures. He did liquor. He's been into everything. Now he's following the Tyler Perry roadmap. You see what's going on with 50 Cent. Ridiculous. When it comes to Dame Dash, let's be clear, has earned more money in a lifetime than 99% of the people in this country or the world will ever get a chance to even think about. Okay, multi-millionaire, super level of success that he's attained and achieved. And I'll be honest, if we look at Dame Dash from the outside looking in, I'm not inside of his household and I don't know what's in his bank account, but it looks like a fall off. It looks like a decline, right? From the things that we're hearing, the recent lawsuit and the people clowning him about, trying to sell his chain with the deal. And we'll get to that in a second. But it looks like a decline, right? But I also want people to not be ignorant. Remember that a multimillionaire's decline or fall off can still be 10 times more financially stable or financially better than the average American, all right? Y'all go look it up. Once again, go Google what's the percentage of the United States that are millionaires, okay? What is it, like the 1% bracket or something like that? It's a very, very low percentage, okay? So Dame Dash, for all I know, could be broke. But his version of broke is like, man, I'm struggling with this $5 million a month lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how it be. And he might be in a very stressed out situation. He might be in a bad financial situation, okay? But even the 50 Cents of the world done filed for bankruptcy to protect his assets. So you never know the moves that people in the middle of making can make or what's going on with them. Outside looking in, we don't see them in their heyday. We say you messed up. It's not always the case. I just want to keep us being objective. So me following these two guys, me picking up jewels from them, of course I tuned into this recent 50 Cent interview, right? He does a dope interview here. You see, I just pulled it up on the screen with Gillie Wallo. So I assume that this is going to be $1 million worth of game piece of content here on their channel. Shout out to Gillie, shout out to Wallo. Amazing. And some of the jewels in this 50 Cent interview, man, like he talks about things like not having a manager, right? And why he doesn't have a manager. He talks about the difference between if somebody wants to get into the film industry right now, go in the direction of creating a series instead of a film, a movie film. And he gives the details about that. Amazing jewels. He talks about his rise. And we've heard the story a million times, but we're listening to somebody, what's 50 Cent, like almost 50 years old or something like that. And they're talking about he's about to cross the billionaire status. these guys continue to go through so much experiences that anytime somebody like a 50 Cent does an interview, I'm sitting down and I'm watching it from beginning to end. During this interview, he took a small jab at Dame Dash. And some people don't even take it as a jab. Some people do. I'm going to play it right now. But he was in the midst of talking about like his first deal, you know, when he got offered $1 million. And let's hear what he said, and then let's get into the Dame Dash piece.
I understand that. He was listening to the material. He was listening to the music.
It's hot.
It's just hot.
How much money did he give you for that first deal?
I got $1 million.
Cash, after taxes.
The only person that pointed out that $1 million was no money was Damon Dash, and he has no money now. I only felt that, because he said, well, that ain't no money. Like, after you get your watch, chain, and you look out for the homies, and you do this, then it's nothing. Right? And I was like, nigga, I'm from 134th Street. $1 million is a lot of money.
Right.
I think I hit the lotto.
Right.
How you gonna say it's no money? Like, it was, and I just never forgot that because of how it felt.
Was that the only offer you got?
Makes it sound like that comment right there damn near depressed him, and it's something he walked around on his conscience forever, whether it motivated him or not. And of course, you know, if somebody like a 50 Cent who's seen $1 million a million times over says that, you want to take note of it. You know, he mentioned where he comes from, and to get $1 million, like Southside Jamaica, Queens, like, I come from nothing. $1 million, you about to tell me there's no money? Whereas Dame Dash on the other side, which was successful before 50, had money before 50 in the industry, told him $1 million ain't nothing. By the time you get yourself a car, maybe a crib, watch, pay taxes, it's gone, right? And it's funny because I'm going to play the line between both of those perspectives at the end when I get into the topic about, is $1 million a lot of money or is it not? I'm going to tote the line of both of those perspectives. Now, let's get real quick into Dame Dash's response. And even before I pull it up here, actually, let me pull it up first. I want to give a shout out to Dame, and I want to call out, it looks like it might be a new channel. I heard him speak about it before. America New NU Network. So it sounds like that's what he's launching now, or possibly launched recently. America New Network, NU. So I guess if we pull that up, I'm going to probably subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Dame Dash, his content, what he's got going on, his releases here. But he responded to 50 Cent's accusations here, or that statement. And let's hear what Dame says. And he's here on his own channel, which is something that I'll always provoke. You know, I always say, listen, if you want to speak out, you want to address something, I understand that there's different platforms and different media outlets that you have a network with, or you might want to tap into those fan bases every once in a while. But your core, you need to have ownership within. Like for me, I'll always rock with the media outlets that I rock with. But if I want to really control my content and also earn off of it, I'm going to come to the company, to the outlet, to the network, to the platform that I own. Right? That's why I'd be so mad at y'all in fucking Twitter spaces and shit. But all right, let's get to this.
Pause. So you're launching a television network and you're in the media business, and you know, you should be prepared for this. But I can guarantee you right now that you are not prepared for this war we're about to have. I challenge you, 50 Cent, to drop your television network, and you have that luxury of being, from what I read, partnership with Lionsgate, and you have the funding of corporate. Drop your network today. Because you have the bread, you should be able to. And I'm dropping mine today. And let's see whose television network is better. It's just a battle. And this is a battle that we could both profit from. Your television network completely funded with all that money versus mine. And it shouldn't be a problem for you. This should be easy work. I'm going to do.
Dame. If y'all heard my tone throughout this, I'm trying to show Dame a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for him as a very independent guy, an alpha, a solid guy, a black sheep, I consider myself similar in many respects. The person that has no problem saying there's 100 people in the room and 90 of y'all want to stand over there and I don't agree with it, then I'm going to stand over here with the other 10. I've always respected Dame Dash for that. But this is why this type of stuff looks bad, and if we take a step back before this video right here, everybody knows it's been all throughout the headlines recently that Dame Dash lost a recent lawsuit. I think it was like almost $1 million, for like 800,000, something like that. It was like a defamation of character lawsuit that he lost. And people believe that that spawned him then going forward and going public with then trying to sell his stake within the Reasonable Doubt album, right? And then there was a bunch of talk about that, whereas, the deal associated with the rights to that album, they're up in like 30 something years or something like that. So Jay-Z and his camp put out a public statement saying anybody that auctions and purchases, that Reasonable Doubt equity, or stock or stake within that album, you're going to lose your ownership in it within 5 years anyway, because I have the rights to it within 5 years based on the original deal 30 years ago. Right. And the reason why, I'm going to use the word liquidate. Dame is even liquidating, his portion of that album, which seems to be common sense for us. Maybe he would say that that's not true, but it seems common sense to us, is because he now needs to liquidate certain assets, or I believe that it was even forced. Maybe the judge forced it, because it's like you lose this lawsuit. And sometimes if somebody's not going to come forward and say, all right, here's your 800 grand, sometimes that legal system or the legal process will then go into certain assets that's tied into what's available. What can you go after, right? And that's the reason why a lot of people protect themselves with certain types of, LLCs and contracts or whatever. But, this came on the table. He started trying to sell it. And after trying to sell it, and then after Jay-Z, damn near threw out almost like a precaution to everybody. It was the same thing that happened with the Lakers. Rich Paul came out with a public statement to all NBA agents saying, I'm going to tell y'all right now, everybody leave Bronny alone, right? Because he's coming to the Lakers. So if anybody drafts him, you're going to end up with somebody that possibly doesn't want to stay, doesn't want to renew, doesn't want to sign a new contract, might be disgruntled. It's not somebody you want on your team, right? Same type of thing that Jay-Z just did. So what does Dame do? He comes behind Jay-Z and he doubles down. He says, I don't know why niggas is hating. It's still for sale. And anybody that buys it, I'm going to throw in, this Rockefeller chain right off of my neck. I'm going to give you it as a collectible if you purchase the album. That looks just like the album situation. It looks like liquidation. It looks like it doesn't look good, right? And I think people need to always be mindful of perception, especially if they're trying to sell something. Like when Academics was like really, really on Meek Mill's heels, and he always is. But there's a time he was going crazy at him, whatever. And then Meek like posts like a truck that he's selling, right? And he's like, yo, dude, even if you don't need the money, read the room. The timing looks bad because you're out here in front of a consuming fan base, and perception becomes reality. So even if Dame was just trying to look out for a fan or somebody that buys, their stake in Reasonable Doubt and says, I want to also give you a chain off of my neck, a Rockefeller chain, it doesn't look good. The optics will cripple you in front of a consuming and a consuming fan base that will be here to support your channel, support your network, purchase into your products, watch your movies, buy your ventures into music if you still want to get back into that industry, whatever the case may be. The optics of it look crazy. And I think that's another reason why so many people come to me for advice, because I don't have to be successful in certain of these areas to see this is what right here might help you not come off with a bad public perception. This right here, you're going to have to navigate because of this other company. This right here, you're going to have to navigate because of your opponent. This over here, oh, that's going to be perceived as a lie, even though it's the truth. Make sure you deliver it like this. And it just looks bad for Damon. He already looks like he's on a decline. So now let's take all of this and let's get into this $1 million, right? Is it a lot of money? Because if a lot of this came about due to this lawsuit that Dame Dash just lost, because let's be clear, if it was Jay-Z, right, we associate the two. If it was Jay-Z, if Jay-Z just lost a defamation of character lawsuit for 800 grand, we wouldn't hear about any of Jay-Z's assets becoming available. The 800 grand would just simply be paid, period. So let's round the 800 up to $1 million, and let's create the topic now. Is $1 million a lot of money? So obviously, what we just showed is it's going to be subjective based on the circumstances, right? Jay-Z, for example, in that scenario, you may not even hear about the lawsuit. You may not even make it to trial. He might just say, what you want, 800 grand? Here, go. My lawyers say that it's worth it to just pay it off, and they send it. Here, 800 grand. He won't even know it's gone. Dame Dash on the other case becomes this big public thing. Rockefeller, the Reasonable Doubt album goes up for sale. He does videos trying to give away his chain. Now here he is trying to battle for a network film or CEO network dropping with 50 Cent, which looks crazy. Once again, you got to read the room. You got to look at the optics of this, Dame. We're not talking about dropping a freestyle. I know he mentioned something like if this was a rap battle, but we're doing a CEO battle. Dame, this looks crazy. This looks crazy, my man. All due respect. If we were dropping freestyles, no problem. But the most successful billionaires in the world are not going to battle saying, oh, wait, we have a discrepancy. Okay, let's both drop our TV networks today and see which one is better. What? You know how much money right now 50 got tied up and people behind him and scheduling and rollout? That's like us sitting here, going crazy over Kendrick. Where's your album? Where's your album? Where's your album? And then every time Kendrick drops or he does a concert, he does a pop out or something, we see how tactical it was, right? Because we down here as the consumers, we're the ones that's supposed to be thinking like that. Oh, drop it today. Give it to us right now. You CEOs that got all these millions of dollars in sponsoring and money and finances involved behind you, you guys are supposed to be the ones saying that. You don't just push a button and say, drop the TV network today because this person wants to battle. It looks crazy. It's not reasonable. It looks like a reach. It looks like you're trying to use leverage other people to continue to bring some success and attention your way, which is why everybody wants to attack Dame now and call him broke. Dame, you got to read the room. You got to navigate your public statements. You got to navigate how you want to beef. I know some people might think like, oh, this is an opportunity to try to draw some attention and get 50 Cent to go back and forth with me. But the back and forth that you're asking for is not even doable. You got people behind 50 Cent right now. He mentioned Lionsgate. You think Lionsgate or the MGMs of the world and whatnot and the Disneys of the world are going to say, oh, 50, you want to battle with Dave Dash? Okay, let's drop today. Get the fuck out of here. This looks crazy, Dame. This looks crazy. It looks like a reach. It looks like, so as much as I got respect for Dame Dash, Dame is smarter than this. Dame is smarter. I had one conversation with Dame in my life, and it wasn't because of me. It was because Murder Mook put us on a three-way, and I got a chance to listen to how smart he is. Also how abrasive he is. He's still the same person. But you don't get to where Dame Dash has gotten to by being stupid. But you continue your success by not becoming stupid over time, right? Let's talk about this $1 million. Will it make is $1 million a lot of money? So I know we can say $1 million to like a Jay-Z is not a lot of money, or maybe $1 million to a Dame Dash today is a lot of money, right? $1 million to a lot of people in this chat could be a lot of money. Cool. So that's going to make it circumstantial. Everybody's different. I'm going to come, I'm going to go into the middle of it. I'm going to tell you first, let me go back and give one of my first personal stories, right? $1 million. What does it take to be a millionaire? I'm pretty sure I Googled it like 20 years ago or some shit. I don't know if the definition has changed, but to be a millionaire, you need to have $1 million in assets or equity or liquid, I believe. I believe that's still the definition. Right? Even the planets change. So I don't know what evolves over the years. Is Pluto still I don't know. But so that's what it takes to be a millionaire. So technically, let's say you have a home that cost $500,000. You have a $500,000 home, right? And let's say it's paid off. That means you have $500,000 in equity. Okay. That's accessible. That's an asset. You can put that up. With business, you could put it up as leverage. You could, all types of shit. You could take home equity loans against it. That's a $500,000 that you have, right? The people that show you money like physically, like they roll money up their arm or whatever. Real money can't be shown on a video or shown on a camera, right? Real money is embedded within the walls of your house, right? Real money is in the bank, and it's not even really sitting there in actual bills, right? The banks just play fucking damn near a Ponzi scheme with the money just digitally. All you leave with is a receipt. You know what I'm saying? It says that you have access to this money, but let you get on the line to a bank right now and say, hey, what's up? This my bank account. You see this receipt. It shows that my balance is $1 million. I'd like to withdraw just $100,000 today. See what the teller says. I say, we don't got that for you right now. We don't even keep 100 grand on deck like that. You got to put an order like that in and come back like in 5 days or some shit like that. Go find out. Go see. So even the banks don't hold it dollar for dollar for all of their customers, right? Like these are the realities of the world, okay? But back to that example, you got $500,000 in equity, and you got another $500,000 in the bank, right? That makes you a millionaire. Okay, you got $200,000 in equity, and you got $400,000 in, I don't know, coins that you say, rare coins, right? And then you make up the rest in your savings. You're a millionaire. Okay, you add up these assets, and if it crosses $1 million, you are a millionaire. It's people. I know you think that the green dollars that we see or we put in our wallet. You know what I'm saying? You need to have $1 million of those to be a millionaire. No. Right? Like if I sell my home right now, or some of y'all sell your home right now, that's part of your worth. Or what your equity is, that's part of your worth. Or even stocks, right? Stocks, bonds, all these different venues of money that you can tap into. Some people, I believe, possibly even by definition, what's in your 401k, right? Now, I know there's certain penalties if you're not like 60 years old or whatnot, if you want to tap into it or whatnot. But let's say you got $900,000 in the bank and you got $100,000 in your 401k. You're a millionaire, right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So for me now, if I go back to like stories of me, the very first time that I've juggled significant money was a mortgage. Right. It was me going to that closing table and going through a refinance to put a mortgage in my name and become an owner of a property. Right. It was a townhouse. And I think at the time the crib was probably anywhere from like 200 to 300 grand or something like that. Might have been in the twos. Right. And that was the first time that I had the responsibility of moving around that type of money. Right. And then even having equity from the purchase, because the amount of the house that it was worth versus what was due on the mortgage, there was a disparity there. So I inherit that equity. You see what I'm saying? And to have that type of money in front of you, that very first time, and you also got to realize this, most people that purchase homes, that'll be the most money that they ever spend. The closing costs, the equity that they attain, that sometimes that's like the biggest asset that people will ever acquire, which is totally fucking fine, which is beautiful, right? Fast forward after that, I opened a hair and nail salon in Staten Island, right? I got into business. What the hell do I know about hair? Nothing, right? But I wasn't always bald. I had a partner, barber. That was my regular weekly barber, and he cut my hair for years. And we got so cool and so familiar. One time I was sitting down and shit. Shout out to my man Mo from Staten Island, Big Mo. Everybody know Mo, one of the best barbers in Staten Island, right? And one time I'm sitting down in his chair, and he just pitches to me. He's like, man, I want to expand. And they got a spot inside Pathmark that's opening up. The old owners in there, they're leaving, the property. And I got my eyes on that spot, man. And he was saying it like to draw in my attention, because over the years, he's looking at me a certain way. He's seeing that I'm pulling up and I'm parking in front of the barbershop in a S500 Mercedes. And then he's seeing next year I'm coming in the drop top BMW 6 Series. And other days I'm pulling up on my motorcycle. So he's watching me over the years. And he sees it from conversation. I have a good head on my shoulders as well. So it becomes like, I wonder if this guy is a possible business partner. Smart man. He had a good forecast on, I am a good businessman, right? That's my reputation, even in battle rap, right? So I end up getting on the ground and running with that. And I go collect about $280,000 in business loans, because I also always kept my credit right high. So I went and got about 280,000, almost $300,000 in business loans, right? And then we started pouring it into the business. We had to totally remodel, rework, rebuild the whole interior, do all the plumbing, get into the concrete, run new water lines because you got spa equipment and sinks over here that was never there before to wash hair, and uh pods over here to get your feet done and whatnot, where there's water lines that was never there before. All this type of stuff that we had to do. It was wild. It was a huge undertaking. That becomes an asset, right? A lot of people don't know. Like, even if your business tanks within like the first 2 years in New York, you could do a full write-off of the business. Right. Now you don't get dollar for dollar, right? But you write that off as a loss. And then even if you did attain any type of profit, you leave with all of that. It's even all of the materials and all the stuff that you could sell inside, everything. You might leave with more money than you actually put in. Am I saying that I did? I ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is all just part of having or managing money, right? At that time for me, $1 million was not a lot of money. Because look at the examples that I walked through. I had crib over here with equity in it. I got a business right here that, when we got the schematics for it and everything, it's on paper, it's worth triple what, I went and took these business loans out to build it with. And then I'm within a 2-year mark. So I understand that I can do certain type of write-offs for it. We also have all this inventory and all these assets within it that are sellable. I got all this stuff going on, and I'm putting all that money together. If you would have gave me $1 million at that time, I would have been hype, right? But would that have been a lot of money for me at that time? No. And this wasn't my only business venture. I had other things going on too. At the time, actually, I even had RBE going on too. Star talked about that. And Star lied on me. He was joking or trolling or whatever. He was like, ARP approached me to be a part of it. No, I did it. I'll never forget the interviews. Me and Star had a nice little fun war for y'all. Shout out to Star. But point being is, I had these different areas where I can put money aside even if I'm taking a loss. I can venture into RBE. I can bank on pulling out money from my home and equity if I need to. And I got stuff over here too where I'm getting a consistent check coming in, right? $1 million is a lot of money if you do not have consistent income still coming in. That is my take. $1 million is not a lot of money, right? If you have significant money or anything less than $1 million, like in that a quarter throughout like 750 already in assets, as well as money still coming in consistently, $1 million is not a lot of money. It's not. Now, if you have nothing, if you don't have a job, if you're an artist going to get a record deal and you're like 50 Cent said, and you have nothing to your name, you're running around getting shot up, you're trying to get out the hood, you're making music, you're taking these hole in the wall shows, trying to get your hands on some bread every once in a while. You have no consistency to your income. You're trying to figure out what's next. And then somebody puts $1 million on the table. That's a godsend. That's money at that point. Right now, today, to me, for example, and many people out there, $1 million, because you have that consistent income. If you gave me an extra $1 million on the table right now, you said, here's $1 million, ARP. What are you going to do with it? Small investment over here, piece of my savings account over there, maybe a small investment right there, the rest in my savings account, right? That's what I would do with $1 million. If somebody dropped an extra $1 million on the table for me right now, right? Now, imagine if I didn't have anything. If I didn't have any equity, if I didn't have my savings account, if I didn't have consistent money coming in, if I didn't own businesses and the things that I'm into, right? And you dropped $1 million on me, what am I going to do? Okay. I may or may not even realize what Uncle Sam is about to do with me on those fucking taxes. But let's say I get some type of advisory and I hear everybody already talking about it. Like, damn, about half of that is gone from taxes. Cool. Now, maybe I don't want to go try to get a bunch of jewelry and clothes. I'm a little bit smarter than average, a little bit. 9 out of 10 people probably going to try at least get a car, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to say something flashy. I'm not trying to say, go get you a Rolls Royce. I'm not saying that. Get you a little car, $50,000 car, whatever. $50,000 go a long way for a nice car. Okay, you get you a beautiful car for $50,000 and under. Okay, get you a car. Let's say you try to get you a crib. Let's say you want to try to go get you a $400,000 mortgage. Your money's gone. You're done. We just said 450. You know what I'm saying? After taxes, and we said half is gone. You're done. And to a lot of people that think that they balling because they got $1 million in today's market, what type of cribs are you getting for 400 grand unless it's not in the craziest zip code? Now, don't get me wrong. 400 grand in the real estate market in certain states and certain areas can have you living beautiful. Could take a lot of people to their dreams, right? You could take a 400 grand mortgage and go get you a 3, 4, maybe in certain places, maybe a 5 bedroom crib, yard, all type privacy. And based on where a lot of us come from, that can be, I'm in the clouds. That's beautiful. But a lot of people don't have the perception of that for $1 million. They think $1 million is I'm Rick Ross now. No, you know what I'm saying? No. $1 million in many scenarios is not a lot of money, because I think a lot of people, if you had a lump sum of $1 million dropped on your table, they want to upgrade their quality of life, period. And our quality of life usually entails the top 2 biggest purchases that people normally make in their lifetime: a house and or a car. And your shit is done. Unless you get $1 million, you pay your taxes, you buy a car, and you was in the projects, and instead of staying in the projects, you went and got $100,000 crib, and then you was able to put like $300,000 into some other investment or in the bank. But nobody's gonna get $1 million thrown at them and look to go get a 1-bedroom townhouse. You know what I'm saying? So that's just not how it goes. So we hear this topic a lot, and I definitely was inspired by seeing it, as well as the whole Dame Dash and Jay-Z back and forth, and 50 Cent back and forth too. But I guess the biggest jewel of this is, if you get lump sums of money, if you find yourself at some point, it could be a tax return, right? If you find yourself getting your hands on $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, that money becomes more of that dollar for dollar value to that given person if they have significant assets, significant equity, significant liquid, and significant income already behind them, as well as continuing. That is my position. That is my 50 years of experience, because I'm 55 years old. That was sarcasm, okay? Don't run with that, people. But that's my experience, okay? If I have nothing and you shoot $1 million to me, I'm going to see very, very fast, doesn't feel like this magical number that we all say. Doesn't feel like that. Okay. I get more benefit out of $1 million if I already have things going on. Okay. So that's my take on that. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of topics going on. There's some other ones I might jump back to ASAP. I want to get back out of battle rap for a second, because this is the Sorry It's True podcast where we try to cover a lot of stuff. I know the last couple lives was battle rap, and we got more coming in that lane as well. But y'all continue to show your boy some love, man. Like, share this video, please. Drop some comments below what y'all want me to talk about, and we'll be back ASAP. Appreciate y'all.